Benny, thanks. Benny Manolitsas is in, mate. Welcome. How are you?
Good, really good, thank you. Really
Mate,
well.
you're pretty familiar with these types of training sessions.
I am.
You've
I
done a
am.
few of
I'm
these.
starting to group with this. Very similar.
You certainly have, mate. Thanks for coming along. You were in the other group last year, Project of R, and you've elevated yourself to the high performer. So welcome. How was your morning, mate?
It was good, really good. Real estate's easy having a little one, as you know. So trained, had a nice bath, a sauna with Ollie, and then a few meetings, and then I'm here. I've got a
Great.
team lunch this afternoon, so the team's out. I've got the office to myself.
Excellent. And just, do you want to just tell everyone a bit about you, mate? If a lot of these are Sydney agents, do you want to? I mean, some of them you'll know, and then some
I do.
Queensland as well. Do you want to just tell everyone a bit about yourself, mate?
Sure. Personally, I'm 33. I work at Marshall White in Albert Park in Port Phillip in Melbourne. I've got a wife that we've been together for 13 odd years. She also worked at Marshall White for a long period of time, and I've got a little boy that's just turned one, which has added a whole nother layer to my life in a very positive way.
Brian's here, and I think Brian works with one of your competitors, Jealous Craig. Brian's got a 1 year old as well, so he knows all about the first 12 months. Um, your rise has been quite rapid in the last 2 years, Benny. Um, but it's not a 2 year overnight story, is it?
No, God, no.
Yeah. So it started when?
I joined Marshall White about 7 or 8 years ago. I think it was 7 years ago, and then I worked at another agency for a year before then. So call it 8 years in total.
And your first role at the other agency and at Marshall White was?
I joined a team as a buyer manager, which I think a lot of people have done,
Yep.
and wasn't really managing a lot of property. It was two directors had left when I joined, and I just ramaged the database and
Yep.
created my own database.
And when did you become a standalone agent?
I reckon 3 years ago,
So you
about
were you
3 years ago.
in Ollie Bruce's team, or you
I
worked
was,
with?
yeah. About
Okay.
3 years ago, 2 years ago, Ollie and I became team leaders in the team. That's
Yep.
how our company's structured. So we had associates below us. And then last year, I made the decision to create my own team, so Team Manolitsas,
Yep.
which look, in hindsight was the best thing I ever did. It's when I've doubled my fees since doing that.
Yep. And to give everyone an example, how many sales did you do last year, mate? Last
Uh,
month?
I did I did 57, I think it was last year.
Yep. And this year, and your average sale price is?
I checked it this morning, 3.8 million. It's been this
Yep.
calendar year.
Yep. And am I right? And this year, 6 months in, how many sales you done so far?
35 sales so far.
Yep. Yeah, so pretty good growth. He's on track to do about 20% more. Most impressively, um, by the way, 20% growth is massive. So some people stay about the same, and that's okay, particularly if you've been in the industry 10 years or longer, you might stay the same. If you're in a growth phase, like if you're younger and you're still building and you're walking, you're still going up a steep mountain, 20% growth, 30% is massive. So that's really good, Benny. So you've done 35 so far. If you do 70 odd, that's 20% growth or more. Um, what's most impressive about Ben, everyone, is how many off-market sales have you done this year?
12 of those are off market.
12.
Yeah.
And last year you did
I reckon it would have been
eight.
four off market all year or thereabouts. Yeah, not a lot.
I think it was eight when we checked.
Yeah.
So Ben last year, I think, did eight off-market through 12 months. 6 months in this year, he's done 12. So, you know, what's changed there, Benny?
Your coaching in that
Oh,
regard,
yeah,
but
thank
uh,
you, but aside from that,
better, much better qualification with buyers. Not
yeah,
spending time with buyers, they're going to waste my time or my team's time. And we in our team meetings, I mean, it's very visual. If you can't see this, but I've got all the best buyers written on our whiteboard.
Yep.
We've got all properties we're chasing, and every Monday morning we match them up. And it's created. I mean, this week there's been one for 8 million, one for 3.85, all from off market. They just wouldn't have happened last year. We didn't have enough focus on it.
So how many buyers are you keeping on your, is it your associates introducing the buyer or are you doing the deal on
It's,
most of it?
it's a mix. The higher price brackets, I just naturally I enjoy dealing with those buyers and focusing on them.
Yeah.
But Melissa from my team probably has introduced, I can close to 50% of those off markets.
So
Um,
how are you framing that with vendors if they're high on price? Because most vendors are, you know, over the market, let's say by 10 or 20%. So you're going in, they're saying, yeah, Ben, we might be interested in a sale. You're going in and speaking to them and they're saying, we want 4 million. But most of us probably think it's a $3.5 million property. How are you then? Am I right in saying that's usually a situation? That's a fairly common situation.
I think every vendor's
Hi.
probably 10% above the market, most
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. So he goes, mate, I want to sell Ben, but I want 4 million. And you're looking at that and you're competing with Jealous Craig or this person or that person, and you think it's probably 3.5 on paper. How are you dealing with that?
It's case by case, and it depends. If they're so far above the market and it's I don't think achievable, it's not worth my time. And I used to spend a lot of time on them, but I'll let someone else do that. If I think that they're assessing their
So
motivation,
how do you get out of that situation
well,
respectfully?
the off market is the way to do that. So talking to them about, which I'm sure everyone does, but a two-stage process, showing that we are the market leaders at this price bracket. These are the sales that we've sold, and we can bring the 10 best buyers through your property. If one of those 10 buyers don't buy your property, what we'll get is market feedback in terms of pricing, and then we can sit down and assess it before we go to market. And if at that stage they've had no offers, it's still, they're 500 grand above, and that's our price, and bad luck. To me, I don't think that's business I want to take on personally. Respectfully, I'll say I don't think the timing's right. We've got two levers: it's price and time. How much time do you have? We don't have time. Well, this is where we need to price it. And 9 out of 10 vendors fall in line if you do the off market the right way.
Okay, let's go back a little. That's great, thank you. Let's go back a bit. Um, I do 25 sales a year, um, and I need to find more appraisals. That's my challenge. I need more appraisals. I need more appraisals. I need more appraisals. You're my coach. What are you saying to me?
Where do most of your appraisals come from?
Database, open homes, but I need more. I haven't had many appraisals the last month.
The three things: either you're focusing on the wrong, your lead source is wrong, or you're only focusing on one lead source, or your dialogue's not right to get in the front door, or your energy is you've only got one appraisal and you're jumping at this person wanting to get in their front door. Service them as a buyer, and if you service them well, they'll invite you in the front door. I think energy is so important that you can be so tense about getting in the front door. It's no one wants an agent to walk in their front door unless you've
Yeah.
earned the right. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So if we go to the methods of finding more opportunities, what would they be?
I think open for inspections is a very
Yep.
good thing. That's where I get a lot of my appraisals.
Yep.
Uh, Follow-up calls, OFIs, and database nurturing. And they're the main three lead sources that I have personally.
Yep.
Um, but dialogue is really important. So I sit with my team and talk about how, have script training or dialogue training with them. And I think if you ask, would you like an opinion of value? 9 out of 10 vendors are going to say, no, we're okay. No, thank you. Um, but if you talk about, maybe spin it, if they're a buyer and say, hey, um, I'd love to have a walk through your home to understand what's working for you in your current home and what's not working for you. So when I walk through the next opportunity, you can be the first person I call. Not many people are going to say no to that. It's just flipping the switch to finding a way in, with most vendors.
So how many sellers would you have on your pipeline sellers, for example?
Gosh, 30, 40.
And then how many buys would you recommend I should look after at any one time?
More than what you're looking after now. If it's 20, 30, if it's 30, 40, I reckon 30 is probably 30 to 40 is a good number, of which
Yep.
10 to 15 of those will be. I think if you look at your list and you're really honest with yourself, like a hot buy list, are they truly hot buys? A lot of them, I find, at least within my team, are not hot buys.